This team sucks. This team is a bunch of losers. This team is embarrassing to watch. I am tired of watching this team. They are just completely embarrassing. They are everything. Bunch of losers. I know I'm keep repeating all the same stuff because you know why? Because that's what this team is a bunch of losers. Game 1 of the doubleheader. They're most likely going to play game 2 today because the weather, I would assume, is going to hold out. But you got smoked. You got embarrassed. And you knew coming into this game that you were still a half game above the Milwaukee Brewers because they managed to win last night against Miami by a score of 1-0. So now, you get absolutely embarrassed in game 1. Kyle Gibson sucks. Kyle Gibson sucks. Has what, an above 9 ERA in the month of September, and most likely now, since it's October 1st, his October ERA is probably like 30,000. That's how bad it is. Anemic offense. They tried to come back. Kyle Gibson automatically gives the Nationals life. Poor defense by Jean Segura and Alec Boehm. And you put into a recipe of success. Recipe for disaster, actually. Why did I say success? I don't know why. My words are fumbling up right now because that's how mad I am. That's how annoyed I am. That's how everything I am. All that recipe turns into a 13-4 loss to the Washington Nationals, the measly 54-win Washington Nationals. You struggled hitting 38-year-old Anibal Sanchez, who throws 89-mile-an-hour fastballs right down the heart of the plate. You struggled to hit that. And now you're tied with the Milwaukee Brewers for the third wild card spot. You control your own destiny, huh? It seems like the Phillies don't want to, take that leap and just run away with it, even though they were never going to. We all saw that Cubs series. They were never going to run away with this entire thing. They're still going to, strand this entire thing down to the very last minute because that's what this team does. That's what this team is because they are a bunch of losers. This entire roster. Losers. Losers, losers, losers. And maybe you could say some of them are because they're first years on the roster, but a lot of the main guys are losers. Rhys Hoskins is a loser. JT Realmuto is a loser. Nick Castellanos is a loser. Jean Segura is a loser. Some guys in the bullpen, Nick Nelson, Connor Brogdon, Kyle Gibson, Aaron Nola. Some other names. You can even consider Bryce Harper. Can even consider Bryce Harper. He's not above that at all. Who else? I wouldn't consider Stott right now because it's his first year. Marsh, he just got here. You consider Bowman a loser. Schwarber, he actually knows how to win. Leadership can't change an entire loser can contaminate a locker room in 1 year. But that's besides the point. I can even consider Rob Thompson. Because I think any other manager would probably take out Kyle Gibson when it was a 6-4 game to make sure he didn't give up another run. Because I don't trust Kyle Gibson not holding that 2-run lead when you made it 6-4. I didn't trust that at all. And go figure. 6 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 2 home runs allowed by Kyle Gibson. What is that? 3 starts in a row for him where he's allowed 7+ runs. Start against the Blue Jays, I think he allowed 7 earned runs. The start against the Braves, probably allowed 7 earned runs. And today, 7 earned runs. Probably makes sense. No idea why Kyle Gibson is still starting important games for you. Because he is absolute trash. And basically, Nick Nelson coming into the ballgame, that's waving the white flag. Basically there, he gives up 3 runs. Davinsky gives up 3 runs. Your best pitcher was Nick Maton. That's sad. That is absolutely sad. Just is. Sad sack of losers. I'm at the point where I don't even want them to make the playoffs. I don't. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it at all. They just don't. Even you could say Milwaukee and San Diego don't deserve it either. But the Phillies deserve it less. My God. My God. You lose 13-4 to the Nationals. The 54-win Washington Nationals. I don't care. I don't care. You know, Dave Dombrowski's going to have a lot of work to do this offseason. And I am a big Dave Dombrowski believer. But this is where he's going to prove a lot. All the moves he's got to make this offseason. All the moves. Rhys should go. 50-50 on Nola. You know Gene's going to be gone. Can he move a guy like a Nick Castellanos? I feel like that's unrealistic because you just signed him to that contract. JT Realmuto, been one of the best hitters in baseball in the second half. Maybe that ups his trade value and a team would want to take that on. You have a lot of work to do here. Salary's going to be off the books. They're not blowing it up. That's obviously not going to happen. That's unrealistic to happen. We got to find a way to wipe that loser energy out of the locker room. You know, Bryce is still going to be here. Zack Wheeler's still going to be here. Kyle Schwarber's still going to be here. Bryson Stott's still going to be here. Brandon Marsh is still your outfielder. Your bench is still the same, most likely. Got to find a way to get those different pieces, those main pieces out. Guys that are losers. Never know. Then Dave Dombrowski's going to do a bunch of work. He's got a lot of work to do. Blowing it up is unrealistic. But maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Blessing in disguise to purge the loser atmosphere. Maybe it is. Hopefully I can convince myself of that. I don't know. I do see Julian. The entire core, that's unrealistic to trade. It's unrealistic. Harper already has a no movement clause. He's not going to waive it. JT, maybe. Like I said, the most realistic options are Rhys Hoskins, Aaron Nola, Gene Segura has the opt-out. Well, the team opt-out, so they're most likely going to do that. Maybe you trade Bohm. It's a possibility. There's still pieces on this roster that you can use. A lot of money's going to be freed up. Dave Dombrowski's got to work the trade market, work the free agency class, find a way to get this roster and clubhouse better for next year. Rob Thompson, he's probably going to get another year, most likely. Has he been bad this September? Yes. He's made a lot of bad decisions, but is he entirely to blame? No, he's not. He's not entirely to blame. It's all the players. It's all on the players. Because at this point, you've gone through 3 managers and mainly this roster, the core of it. Harper, JT, Rhys, Segura, Nola, all been the same. So, got a lot of work to do. Now, mathematically, yes, they're still involved. Most likely. But got nothing to say. Yeah, mathematically, you're still in it. There's still technically a chance you can get there. Am I holding my hopes there? I'll say it's like a 5% chance they make it in. 5. Because Milwaukee's still going to lose games. It's not guaranteed they're going to lose every game, though. Like, is this going to be one of the things where neither team decides they want the third wild card spot? Is it going to be one of those situations? Every time the Phillies lose, Milwaukee loses. Every time the Phillies win, Milwaukee wins. Is it going to be one of those situations? Like, I don't even want them to make the playoffs at this point because they don't deserve it. They just don't deserve it. There's too many losers in that locker room. Too many. Like I said, Dave has a lot of work. He's got a lot of work to do this offseason. And I'll probably discuss that more when the season ends. Because there are positives you can take out of this year. But, obviously, understandably, no one's going to want to hear it. No one's going to want to hear all that. It's ridiculous. It just is. It really is. Look at your main group of guys. Rhys Hoskins 0 for 4. Bryce Harper 0 for 3. Bohm 0 for 4. And JT had 2 hits today. Whoop-de-doo. Castellanos 1 for 4. Stott 1 for 3. Gene Segura 1 for 3. Nationals had 14 hits. You went 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. The Nats went 7 for 12. The fact that you're allowing 13 runs to the Nationals, hell, more than 5 runs to the Nationals is an embarrassment. You really struggled to hit Anibal Sanchez, who throws 89 miles an hour. Like, that's the joke. Like, that's the bona fide joke right there. It just is. Kyle Gibson sucks. Still don't understand why he's pitching in important games. Just don't understand that. No idea why he's pitching in important games at all. Because in his past 3 starts, he's allowed 7 earned runs each. If I look at Kyle Gibson, looking at his past couple of games, basically throughout the entire month of September, I can look at September 9th against, honestly, you could date this, let's just go back to the beginning of September. September 2nd against the Giants, 1 2/3 innings, 7 earned runs. Against the Miami Marlins on September 8th, 5 innings, 4 earned runs. September 20th against the Blue Jays, 5 innings, 7 earned runs. Against the Braves on the 25th, 5 innings, 5 earned runs. And today, he went 6 innings and gave up 7 earned runs. Yep, 6 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned, 2 walks, 2 home runs, 7 strikeouts. It's terrible. It's dog shit. It's what it is. It's what it is. It's dog shit. And yeah, the defense definitely didn't help him out in that second inning. Gene Segura should have made a better read on that play to CJ Abrams. And also Alec Bohm should have had that play over the third. But also, you can say that Kyle Gibson, before that entire rally, got 2 outs. Before anyone got a hit in that inning, he got 2 outs. So why are you struggling to get the third out, Kyle? Why are you allowing 2 runners on? Why are you allowing the bases loaded? Why are you allowing a 3-run double with 2 outs? All with 2 outs. There's your question mark there, Kyle. It's ridiculous. This team stinks. Stinks. Rest of the schedule. The game, like I said, most likely is going to get played tonight, regardless of the weather. Syndergaard going up against Tony Romero. And then tomorrow, if the game is played or not, Zack Wheeler against Patrick Corbin. And then you go to the Houston Astros series, and say if tomorrow's game is not played because it is supposed to rain tomorrow afternoon, that game most likely gets pushed back to the 6th of October, which is a Thursday. And they're most likely going to have to play because, like I said, neither the Phillies or the Brewers want this third wild card spot at this point. And then if tomorrow's game gets postponed, Wheeler's start gets pushed back to the Houston series. Then you have Nola, Suarez, blah, 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 blah. Losers. That's what it is. It's losers. You had so many chances for yourselves to take hold of this. You did. Let's look at the entire month of September. Starting back at that West Coast road trip. August 29th. Arizona, San Francisco, you lose 5 out of 6. Then you come back home. Okay, you went on a nice stretch there. You won, 7 out of your next 8. So that was a good stretch, but then you lost 5 in a row again. Then you lost 3 in a row. Then you won 3 in a row. Then you lost 5 in a row again. See where I'm getting at here? You won 1 yesterday, you lost today. And now you have another game tonight. Look at how many discrepancies between the losses and the wins. It's not like win 2, lose 1, win 3, lose 1. It's win 3, lose 5. Win 7 out of 8, lose 5 out of 7 out of the next 10. That's how it's going. This entire month. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, the question mark is always going to be have. That Why was his team playing better when Bryce Harper was gone? That question's still going to be there. It definitely is. Bryce Harper isn't above that. As much as I love Bryce Harper, a lot of question marks there. Definitely is. And it's not saying I want him gone. I don't. Because he's still the best player on your team. Is he a loser, though? Possibly. Is he a good leader? Probably not. That's why Dave has a lot of work to do this offseason. A lot of work. And like I said, there's still a chance to make the playoffs for them. They're most likely not going to get eliminated until the last game of the season. That's just the way this entire thing's going. If I look at the standings right now and everything, MLB.com, just to look at it. What else? Wild card standings. Yeah, tied with the Brewers. Technically, you hold that third wild card spot because you have the tiebreaker. Both at 84 and 73. Brewers play another game tonight against the Miami Marlins. You play another game tonight against the Nationals. All you needed to do is win games. And this team can figure out a way to do it. They just can't. Bats are gone soft. Pitching has been terrible. Everything. Simply everything. Can't hit with runners in scoring position. Guys can't go out there and pitch and do their job. Seriously, your best pitcher this entire month has been Bailey Falter. And the appearances from Zack Wheeler, even though they've been short. But overall, your best pitcher this month has been Bailey Falter. Bottom line. And it's not even saying Aaron Nola has been terrible. Yeah, he allowed the 4 runs to the Cubs, but overall, this is not his worst month of September. That's why I'm still 50-50 on him coming back or not. Like, I don't mind if he stays. I don't mind if he goes. But like I said, Rhys, I want Rhys gone. Gene Segura is going to be gone. We know that. Is there a chance that Castellanos goes? I have no idea. Same thing with JT. His value definitely is up after, what he's been doing this entire second half. But I doubt the Phillies move him. What else? Looking at the entire Schwarber's still going to be here. Harper's still going to be here, no doubt. Bohm could be moved. Marsh is still going to be here. Stott's still going to be here. I'm not blaming Marsh or Stott or anything like that. These guys are just brand new to the team. Your bench is fine. It's the main guys. It seriously is. It's the main guys. Like I said, Dave has a lot of work to do this offseason. Maybe purge some of this loser atmosphere and then go out with the trade market and the free agency class to get some more leaders into this goddamn locker room that know how to fucking win. Does Thompson get another year? Probably. I would say it's like 75% chance he stays next year as the manager. And most likely he's only getting a 1-year deal. I think this offseason they're going to be focusing on, okay, we've been through so many managers at this point. The players really failed us. And let's go out and fix that culture. Got some young guys coming up next year, possibly. Painter, McGarry for the rotation. Like, I know I'm saying all this stuff like the season is over. Technically, it isn't. But in my mind, it is. Because I kind of don't want them to make the playoffs at this point because I don't feel like they deserve it. I just feel like they don't. It's just this collapse has been so terrible. It really has been. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. I think that's where we stand. That's where we stand on this night. Well, afternoon, evening, whatever you want to call it. I think I have some notifications right here. Let's see. We got a thing right here, a little text message on the Anytime hotline. And like I said, you can leave your stuff there on the 215-839-9885. And if you are sending text messages or anything like that, make sure you leave your name just so I can save the contact for future uses. Let's see. This person says, I don't blame Harper, Schwarber, Hoskins, Realmuto, Nola, Falter, Wheeler, Maton, Suarez, Stubbs, Bohm, or the bullpen. Most of them are having good overall seasons or at least improving. I blame Gregorius, even though he has not been here. Gibson, Syndergaard, Castellanos. They were talented veterans who were supposed to bolster the lineup and everything failed. But the thing is that Hoskins hasn't been good this entire month. Harper hasn't been good since coming back, and I don't care if he's injured or not. He's in the lineup. He needs to produce. Yeah, JT, yeah, he's had a good second half, but he was 0 for in the entire Cubs series. Falter's been your best pitcher this month. Yeah, Wheeler was injured. Suarez, he had a couple of good starts. Bohm, he still makes bad plays over third base. Well, Maton really isn't in the starting lineup, so you really can't point him out. Well, Didi is kind of irrelevant since he hasn't been here for 2 months. Yeah, Gibson has been bad. Syndergaard, Castellanos, yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to, you can't blame Dave Dombrowski because he couldn't expected all that crap to blow up in his face. Like he went out there and made the right moves for this team. He did. Like who were the guests that Castellanos would have the year that he's having? And maybe you could have guessed the thing with, signing Familia. Okay. You make one signing and it blows up and you make a mistake. Every GM has that problem. Every GM has those contracts where it blows up in their face. But no one could have predicted Castellanos. Sometimes it doesn't even feel like he wants to be here. I don't know why he's on that contract if he doesn't want to. Well, most likely it's the money. Who else? Yeah, Knebel was just unlucky because he got injured. Hand got injured. Alvarado has been basically your best reliever and probably been one of the better relievers in baseball since coming back from AAA. But I think right now your main issue is your bats stopped being consistent. Think about that entire stretch since Thompson took over from that June to August, where the bats were amazing. You were winning games, and basically ever since September, your bats have gone very hot, very cold, and mostly cold. They've had a few games where they've exploded, but mainly they've been cold. Your bats have been a major issue, and that's the problem. Like I said, Dave has a lot of work to do next year. Yeah, Julian bring up a good point there. Yeah, the batters have been bad. Hitters have been bad. And maybe next year you do something different with Schwarber. Maybe if you go out next year, you make the moves, you move Schwarber to a different position of the lineup. But Kyle Schwarber is the least of my worries. He put up 42 plus home runs this year. I know he's batting 211, but he still hit 42 home runs. I don't care if you're batting 211. You hit 40 plus home runs. That's a good year. That's the mainstay of baseball, these days. Power's greater than everything. Just defeated. Let's look through this last couple of chats as well. Gibson has to go. Yeah, he's not coming back next year, hopefully. Such a team that can't get their juju together. Team a bunch of losers there, Chris. Yeah. If they miss the playoffs, the longest drought in baseball is going to be all to themselves because Seattle clinched the postseason spot yesterday. So Seattle ended their 20-plus year drought. If you miss the playoffs, you're going to have the longest drought in baseball. Congratulations, Phillies. Yeah, we do own a tiebreaker over the Brewers. It's still possible they back their asses into the playoffs somehow. Like I said, mathematically, it's still a chance they make it in there. But do I care if they make it? No. I don't think they deserve to. This is hitting rock bottom or 6 feet below rock bottom, correct? Maybe 50 feet, even below that. Probably the center of the Earth's core, I would say. The fact that Thompson keeps starting Gibson, I'm assuming that's what you're referencing. And then when he's 6-4, yeah, Gibson should have been gone. Phillies equal the bad news Bears. Yep, a lot of high-profile losers on this team. What was comical was Gibson's pitching, and it did not matter how bad the bullpen was. The pitching was totally embarrassing. Yep. They've lost 4 out of 5 to the Cubs and Nationals. Yeah, that'll do ya. Team stinks. If they do get in, they will have backed into it. Exactly. They lost twice to the Nationals this year, just showing today how lifeless they were shows they do not care. It kind of doesn't even feel like they care at all. With these important games for the Brewers, Ashby is tonight and undecided pitching tomorrow. They only have to beat the Nats this weekend. Can't take this team anymore, making me sick to my stomach. Oh, I agree with you there, man. I agree with you. Are you playing the stream after tonight? Maybe. You said it best. While most of the offense has been good overall, they haven't been consistent. Each player has had 1 or 2 months of being good, then stopped producing, whether it was Hoskins or Bohm. Probably what happens when you have a lineup full of hot and cold players. That's why I said Dave Dombrowski has a lot of work to do this offseason. Maybe you trade away some of this main core of guys. Go out, free agency in the trade market, you get different players. We all know they're going to be in on a most likely a high touted shortstop from free agency, whether that's Bogarts or Turner. Most likely. Who's pitching tomorrow for tomorrow afternoon is Zack Wheeler against Patrick Corbin. That's even if the game is played tomorrow. Because it's been raining all weekend in Washington, so it's no guarantee tomorrow's played. I think they're going to get tonight in because they're definitely going to try their asses to get that in. But I don't think tomorrow's game is getting played. That's just my opinion. Who have they even replaced with Gibson with? They couldn't trade for anyone better because of the lackluster farm system. Thanks, Clintek. Well, they could have called up someone like a Griff McGarry. Hell, I would have even taken Christopher Sanchez, starting over Gibson. That's what I would have done. For some reason, they wanted to transfer Griff McGarry in AAA into the bullpen, and they just never call him up. Like, you could have brought up Griff McGarry and have him take over Kyle Gibson starts. I would have taken that over Kyle Gibson any day of the week. My personal opinion. Can Middleton even afford it? Yeah, there's going to be a lot of payroll coming off the books this offseason. A lot of payroll. When they played without Harper, there has to be a deeper reason they completely collapsed when he returned. It's going to be a question mark, definitely. If they lose the second game, we should just go out drinking, and I don't drink. I don't drink either, man. I don't drink either. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. It's ridiculous. Our Special Olympics softball team could beat the Nationals this year. It's funny because coming into this game, you only lost twice to the Nationals. And they kept saying, oh, you're 2 losses to the Nationals this year. This should be an easy win. Nope, not with the way this team's been playing this month. Especially down this last week. It is pathetic. Really is pathetic. Just is. Let's see what Thompson is saying. Thompson Bohm should have had that play, obviously. Segura too deep. No, I think the ball was hit a little bit harder than it was. Okay. What else? Said all season they're resilient. They fight, and they do, even in a late Thompson. The only time they showed fight was in the 4th inning. The 4th inning is when they showed fight. Thompson, I trust him, and I have faith in him, and I have confidence in him. Am I going to believe it's going to be all right? Oh, yeah, try that, Toppy. Stubbs is starting tonight. Oh, my God. Thompson says, Kyle Gibson, I don't say disappointing. Could have thrown a little bit better. He battles, prepares, and works. Man, Thompson really doesn't like throwing his players under the bus. My God. He really doesn't want to throw his players under the bus. Kyle Gibson has been shit for you in his last 3 starts. Seriously. Like, God, dude. Like, seriously. Oh. My God. Didn't see the game, but how the F did Gibson last as long as he did? Thompson just secured his ticket out of town. Because I guess they're doing the whole thing with the doubleheader. They don't want to waste the bullpen, which makes sense. But when it's a 2-run game, you don't bring Kyle Gibson back out there because he's not going to hold that 2-run lead, that 2-run deficit. He's just not. And that's exactly what he did. But then the bats just also didn't hit again after they made it a 6-4 ball game. Nick Castellanos, I like the signing. Yeah, he's having a bad year, but his attitude has been terrible. I don't even know if he likes being here, my honest opinion. And I'm the douche that bought a Castellanos jersey in the beginning of the year. So, yeah, this is the douche right here. We are screwed? Yeah, I firmly believe that, man. Firmly believe that. Gibson is definitely horrible. I do believe that. He's too weak. DD isn't bringing him back. Thompson is feeding into this nightmare. We'll see what happens. I think Thompson gets another year, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Dave Dombrowski looks in a different direction. Because if you are looking at a different manager, pluck someone from a winning organization. Pluck someone from Tampa. Pluck someone from Dodgers. Pluck someone from Atlanta. Pluck someone from Houston. One of those organizations that know how to fucking win. The poor drafting of Matt Klentak really handcuffed this franchise lackluster farm system, points them. Yeah. This team has been pushed back a long time because of Klentak and McPhail era. Now, Dave Dombrowski was also brought in here to fix that entire thing, and he has definitely made the farm system a lot better, development-wise and everything like that. He's made some better draft picks. Hell, he's got a top 25 pitcher in the prospect system right now, and Andrew Painter, who most likely could possibly make the rotation next year. So I'm definitely excited for Andrew Painter and all that stuff. I still trust Dave Dombrowski on that part and everything here. Like, all this stuff I'm not blaming Dave Dombrowski for. It's on the players. And yeah, you can also point to the Klentak and McPhail era for how terrible they were drafting, how terrible they were at everything. Set this franchise back a long time. But who knows? Maybe if they falter, which they already are, miss the playoffs, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe it is. What do you think about Painter and Abel next year, possibly in the MLB? I think Painter is more likely Abel gets a year in AAA. I think that's what happens. I think it's more Painter and McGarry comes up next year, possibly. I think that's the more likely thing. Went to a Reading Phillies game, and some of the players could definitely help the offense a bit. You never know. Still with bad drafting, the team already... This team, all they had to do was play 500 ball this month. That's a yeah. Basically. All they had to do was play 500 baseball, and they couldn't do that. They could not do that at all. Couldn't do it. Simply could not do it. It's a joke. It is a joke. Let me look at anything else here on Twitter, just in case I'm missing anything. But I think that's where we're going to end it here, folks. I thank you for joining today's stream. Maybe I'll do... It depends on what happens in the second game. If it's another terrible game tonight, like it was today, even if the game is played, I probably won't do a recap because I can't stand this nonsense. It's not even worth my time. But say if they do win tonight, I'll do a recap. 50-50 basically on that. But still, thank you. With tomorrow and everything with the Eagles game, the Eagles will be the primary focus and everything. But yeah, Eagles tomorrow, primary focus. Maybe I'll do a stream tonight, depending on how the game goes. So you'll definitely have to wait and see on that stand front. But thank you for joining this afternoon stream. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Do not forget to drop a like on the video. And also, don't forget to check everything in the description below. BrodesMedia Painted Lines. I recommend all that stuff. Same thing with hitting the subscribe button. It goes a very long way. And then also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Use it for anything you can think of. It's a great deal. Don't pass that up. Thank you guys once again for joining this version of the stream. Maybe you'll see one tonight. Maybe you won't, depending on how the game goes tonight. So, with all that said, I will see you next time.